have to excuse my voice. This laryngitis is kind of eating me. I hope it gets better soon. So we're going to do show number 1086 and cover the last week in September 2017. This is the week of Pluto, by the way. Pluto is stationing here on the 28th. It's stopping in the sky. And we had a full moon that put Pluto on the descendant near New Orleans. Anyway, this is what I was going to mention, the Bombay disaster. Everybody's focused on Houston, where there's people walking around knee-deep in water. Oh, terrible, terrible, terrible. But Bombay, yes, in India, instead of, they would say, oh, there are 3 dead in Houston. There's 1,200 dead in Bombay due to flooding. Neptune really took Bombay by storm. The monsoon season was extra. We had, 20,000 people out of homes in Texas. They had 20 million people lost homes in Bombay. Mumbai, they call it. You didn't see any of that on the news. All you saw was, poor me, Houston. Oh, poor me, got to walk around in water up to my knees. Of course, that water will probably get more difficult. I saw just one little report lately about a Pluto matter. And they, when you're seeing all that water, there's going to be a little sewage there. At least the droppings from the cow pasture next door or something. But, all that brown water scares people. One report said they detected flesh-eating bacteria in some of that flood water. I mean, they're talking about all the chemicals from the refineries. Must be 50 refineries and 75 chemical plants in the Houston area. I know that area very well. But when Pluto stations, which it does on the 28th, the closer you get to September 28th, the stronger the sense of panic is. Eek, a flesh-eating bacteria. There's sharks. There's nukes. The North Koreans got a nuke. Oh, terrible. Come on, listen. We're sitting there with 12,000 nukes surrounding poor North Korea, and they need 1 or 2 just to... imagine if you were in your neighborhood, everybody's getting along, but there's one family collects a whole bunch of guns, and they're carrying guns around, and guns. Pretty soon you say, well, maybe I should have 1 gun. Well, the family that's got all the guns is the USA, and we have treated North Korea terribly, threatening them all the time. That's why they're behaving the way they are. Yes, it's a matter of Pluto. If that guy's got 4,000 guns across the street, maybe I better get 1 shotgun anyway. That's what this gun thing is all about. But, Mr. Trump has said, we're going to take all the military guns and turn them over to the police. Oh yeah, let's turn the police into the military. So what's all this stuff about? Sharks, snakes, nukes, flesh-eating bacteria, guns. It's panic time. And the panic comes from your reptile mind, Pluto. I like to draw him like this. You notice all the poisonous snakes, they have these stripes and these. The black and yellow was done by psychologists who found out that's what your eye sees right away. I mean, you show a cat something like this and he'll jump and run. Everybody's got instincts about snakes and Pluto and things that have colorations and stripes. That's Pluto. So it's your reptile mind that's about to become energized when Pluto stations. Happens particularly weird. It stations on the 28th. And here's the moon going by there. So on Thursday, the 28th of September, your world is going to be full of this stuff. In Hawaii, pretty much it's going to be volcano time. Hooray, I've seen Pele here. Is really beautiful when she does her thing. And relatively harmless in Hawaii, too. You get a chance, you want to go see it. Anyway, not so harmless in other places. Halfway between Florida and Houston, or actually New Orleans, just east of New Orleans, this Pluto hits real heavy. And I think there's panic there, and flooding, and flesh-eating bacteria, etc. Brown water, pollution from chemical factories and oil factories. And get the military in there with guns, quick. You have to laugh a little bit. Once you understand that, even a little tiny bug will panic you for an instant during this period. It's your brainstem that got very sensitive when Pluto stops. A little tiny bulb on the end of your spinal cord is the reptile brain, and all it knows is flight or fight. And it's sudden, that little snake just sits there and it does nothing, and then suddenly it runs or it attacks. That's the way Pluto is. The policemen's are like that. They sit there kind of quiet, and either they're going to retreat back or they're going to attack, and it happens suddenly. They gang together, too. Insects do the same thing. I notice the termites show up and they all fly around. The termite companies know this and send you ads to tent your house, fill your house full of poisons, just for a few little drywood termites. But people panic, They panic. And so there's a lot of panicky stuff going on in our world right now, and you could expect it to peak out at this time. Well, let's take a look at our sky mirror, see what it has to do. Here, Uranus. Jupiter is opposing Uranus. It's been tough on Uranus, tough on us astrologers, tough on scientists. Uranus is taking a beating. Yeah. Who's Uranus? Not just astrologers, it's scientists, it's common sense. So here's lawyers and professors and so-called wise people. They're usually big and fat and rich, opposing Uranus. Nah, science is wrong. All these big hurricanes aren't global warming. No. We had guys 5-10 years ago almost telling us, hey, the warmer it gets, the bigger and the tougher and the stronger your hurricanes are. And now we see it. And still there's deniers. Who are these people? Here's these rich people. And a lot of them are in Florida, and they're learning a tough lesson. But anyway, Saturn's trining. Maybe the old guys will help out a little bit when Uranus is so attacked. The other thing going on here is that Mars and Venus, the young folks, are in trouble. Yeah. Especially towards the end of your next week. Well, actually, it's all week. Here, Mars is opposing Neptune, and the soldiers and the helpers and everybody's afraid of the water. And the full moon was on. Listen to my crummy voice, I apologize. The full moon was on Neptune here in September 5th, and it goes until October 4th. So Neptune got all energized, and he's all lunatic-like. And he's, this is priest, artist, doctors. Here's movie stars, here's music, here's your sense of smell. All those things are kind of out of proportion and wobbly and over-emotional. And those people. And Mars here, well, I guess Friday, Friday, Saturday, Mars is going to stumble in there and oppose Neptune and say, wait a minute, enough drunken priests. Who are these phony doctors and these bad chemical smells? And then towards the end of your next week, Venus moves up here, and she gets to that point at 12 degrees Virgo, where she's opposing Neptune, and the pretty girls and the young girls are all saying, enough of this stuff. Enough bad smells. Dirty priests, doctors, artists, musicians, all the very special. Oh yeah, we're very special. That's what Neptune likes. Neptune's all sparkly and shows this beautiful romantic exterior, but he's not quite what he seems. And all you see on your TV is, ask your doctor. No, thank you. Well, here's the guy that's going to, permeate your consciousness. Let's see how it goes day by day. We're going to take this planetary pattern, and we're going to run the moon around the edge of it. Moon goes around here, once a month. And it kind of gives you pictures and emotional stream of consciousness. That is what this mood of the times, I call it. Because we're all going to catch it here. Sometimes we're off an hour or two either way. But so as the moon moves through here, it's in Libra on Thursday. And then early Friday morning, here we go into Scorpio. And right away, look at that. There's Venus. And then the moon's in Scorpio. Very sexy. It's Friday at the middle of the day. So you could be having a lot of pleasure and fun, and the girls are out and the dancing divas on Friday, the 22nd of September. Well, actually, I almost missed it. Look at that. Here's Jupiter. Here's thunder and rain and lightning and big fat rich people and lawyers and professors. And what are they doing? They're gearing up to oppose Uranus, the technicians and the scientists. And you're going to see that Jupiter. Too much laughing. Everybody got up too early Friday morning and started off, and got into trouble with Uranus. The electricity, the batteries shorted out. So be calm. Carry on. In the middle of Friday, here's Venus. And she says, oh, mellow out. Get some sweets. I recommend her at that time. On Saturday, the moon's still in Scorpio, feeling pretty sexy still. And here's Mars and Neptune. Now, the moon's going to sextile Mars. And Romeo is out, with lots of testosterone. He's been following Venus since Friday. Like, you ever watch, you get a little female dog in heat, and the males are like a trail behind her, and that's kind of the way this feels. And when Mars is all lit up with his testosterone, here's Neptune opposing. Is this a priest saying, no, don't lust after that girl? Whatever it is, we're all getting along with it. Oh, it's okay. We don't care what the priests say. So there's a lot of inspired heroes. They may be in a flood zone here, but they're inspired, and they're doing good, and they're being protectors, and give them credit Saturday morning. Middle of the day, here's a nice sextile to Mercury. Communication's fine. In the afternoon and evening, here's a sextile to Pluto. Powerful discovery, the good side of Pluto. New discoveries, new things coming up Saturday night. Good times. Look at all these blue planets here. All sextiles and trines. A mellow Saturday, Friday and Saturday. For a change, if you get by the manicness. That's manic depressive. Saturn's depressive, Jupiter's manic. Friday morning. Sunday, the moon's still in Scorpio. And it still feels pretty good. And in the late afternoon here, we got a sextile to the sun, and we got a plan, and we're getting things done. And everything seems okay. And then the moon shifts into Sagittarius. And it's very different. All the vibes change. We're now in a mutable fire sign. It's all changeable, and there's too much energy. Yeah. Sunday night. Monday morning, here's a square to Venus. There's no sweets there. No sex. It's all confusing. Here on Monday night, the moon squares Neptune, and late in the evening it squares Mars. And so this is a terrible time for love, for Romeo and Juliet, for the priest, artist, doctors. This is confusing and deluding. What is that you're eating? Is that a bunch of sugar? Look out, Monday the 25th. Tuesday, the moon's still in Sagittarius, and it's going to go by Saturn. There it is. Just a little about noontime or before noon. Moon goes by Saturn. Everybody contracts. Everybody gets judgmental. Wait a minute. Where's the law? Somebody made a law, and they put lines up and signs like driving The lines and signs on our streets here and stuff in the Big Island are terrible. The highway designs are killing people. The stoplights, oh, wait a minute, we're doing what they've always done. Yeah, pooey. So putting things in cement here, I don't know. Jupiter's not giving his normal wisdom. He's occupied with science. But you might get some solid planning done. Maybe. You'll find out Tuesday night, because here's a sextile to Jupiter and the trine to Uranus. And if these guys, if the lawyer professors come in and say, oh yeah, you're doing good, make that law. And if Uranus, the science, comes in and says, yes, do that, maybe you got something done, I don't know. Mercury's here, though, Tuesday night, and he's in square. So it's hard to communicate any of this stuff. On Wednesday morning, the moon shifts into Capricorn. You're in the Pluto zone. Yes, Wednesday, the middle of the day, here's a square to the sun. You're not going to get anything done Monday or Wednesday, the 27th. And, you're going to be lulled into a sense of being too easygoing here, maybe. Because here's Venus, late Wednesday night. It's about midnight. A trine to Venus. Feels sexy. Feels sweet. And here Thursday morning, here's Neptune and Mars. Romeo's out. There's music. There's perfume in the air Wednesday night, Thursday morning. Kind of feels good. Hopefully. Here's the moon going by Pluto, though. It's in the afternoon of Thursday, the 28th. And Pluto stopped. What? All that love isn't good? What do you mean? There's a thing called it's chlamydia. No, it's gonorrhea. No, it's flesh-eating bacteria. No, it's the Pluto can give you all kinds of panicky feelings. And most of all, you got to watch out for the hidden things. I mean, volcanoes come from up under the ground, huh? Flesh-eating bacteria you can't see. So these things are permeating your consciousness on the 28th. There's bound to be some sharks and some volcanoes, and you know that along the Kona coast, the king of Hawaii made a deal with the king of sharks. The king of sharks is Pele's brother. You know that? Pluto is sharks. When I talked to the spirit of sharks once, I asked them, who are you? They said, we're the Kevorkians of the ocean. You never feel the shark bite, but if they're sick or if they're dying, we put them out of their misery. Dr. Kevorkian. So there's a really good side to Pluto here. But sharks are there, and so are the, yellow jackets are the one thing that we all fear a little bit. They have this coloring too, huh? The yellow jackets. They sting easily and they hurt a long time more than honeybees. Anyway, just some Pluto things to think about. Listen, revolutionary new knowledge. That's what's going on here on Thursday. Things from under the surface. That he's a detective. He's Sherlock Holmes. He says, look, we just got new evidence. Yeah, Kennedy was killed by another guy. No, they were after Governor Connally, not Kennedy. No, there was new things pop up, new discoveries, especially those things underneath the ground. I saw one on Yahoo, the great volcano in Yellowstone. Some guy says, we need to get in there and tap out the energy, turn it, that's a lot of heat, turn it into electricity, cool off the super volcano. What a good idea. Our volcanoes on the Big Island could power the whole state easily. And you can do this with warm stuff. You don't got to go to flashing steam and hydrogen sulfide, rotten egg smell. Hydrogen sulfide, if you can smell it, you're safe. Yeah, it stinks. It's rotten egg smell, H2S. I know the molecule very well. It's a Pluto thing. Don't panic. It's not going to hurt you. Your body makes H2S. But here's Pele sitting over there saying, listen, all around the slopes of my big volcanoes, even Hualalai, the earth is warm. And you can warm up water. If you can warm up water even a little bit, hopefully seawater, and capture the heat, it's electricity, it's power. Let's get our Pluto power problem straight. And Thursday is time to do it. Aren't there anybody out there with any men of vision, any technical experts willing to start looking at our volcano power? They're going to do it in Yellowstone. Go to Iceland. The whole island is powered by volcano in Iceland. We can do the same thing. So discovery, that's what Pluto does. I used to work for lawyers investigating accidents when I didn't have a full-time job. I liked investigating, and in the period it's called discovery. That's Pluto. And I usually solved all the cases people were going to court on, because I was a good detective. I figured out the cause of the accidents. Everybody settled out of court. We did that during discovery. So discovery and Pluto here Thursday is a powerful time. Hope you'll use it constructively. Everything piles up on you Friday. Friday night, here's the square to Uranus and the square to Jupiter, and the lawyers and professors are bickering with the scientists. Yeah, too bad. Friday the 29th. Moon shifts into Aquarius late Friday after dinner. Feels a lot better. Yeah, Aquarius, nice, solid intellectual thinking. On Saturday, here's a nice trine to the sun. You can get a plan going. Yes, you can. Here on Saturday, the moon's still in Aquarius, and there's a sextile to Saturn. Here's, good judgment. In the evening of Sunday, well, it goes by the south node here after lunch. Everybody needs help. Yeah, that's what it comes to. But Sunday night, here's a trine to Jupiter and a sextile to Uranus. We can all get along. Little brotherhood, that's what it's about. Little brotherhood.